Good morning. Welcome to Daily Focus. We're going to be in Psalm chapter 9 this morning, and what a great psalm. It is really a treatise on what faith produces. We know that without faith, it is impossible to please God. We know that the battle cry of the Christian is the just shall live by faith. We know that faith in God is what produces our confidence. It's what produces our security. It's faith in God that produces our fulfillment and empowerment for the will of God. It's believing that God will. It's believing that God is. It's believing that God is always right and does what is right. So the devil and our flesh are constantly bombarding us with doubt as to whether or not God is in control, whether or not God really cares, whether or not God really loves you, or whether or not God really has your best interest at heart. And that's where faith comes in. And so when faith is exercised in the life of a Christian, it produces some amazing, wonderful traits. Verse 4 says, "For thou hast maintained my right and my cause, for thou sattest in the throne judging right." And so I just realized God is on his throne and he's doing right and he is making things right according to his will. He's got the big picture completely settled and he is working all things to the counsel of his will, and his time is right on time. And so let me just read. I'm going to read the first 10 verses because it really helps us to understand, if I believe God, if I really trust God, if I'm living by faith, do I believe God is making good decisions, that he is always doing right and judging right? And so Psalm chapter 9, "I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high." In other words, when I am living by faith, I will be praising God. I will be saying much about God. I will be proclaiming the amazing realities of God, and I will be promoting who God is, and I will just be praising his name. Verse number 3, "When mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in this throne, judging right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end. And thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them. But the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment." In other words, there are times in our lives where it looks like wickedness is winning. There are times when we look and we say, how are people believing that lie? There are times when we feel like God is allowing things to happen that just shouldn't happen. It seems to violate our justice system. It's offensive to us. And if we're not careful, we begin to believe that somehow the wicked, the unrighteous are winning. They're not. They're not. God has it all calculated. He has it all under control. And even though they may look like they're making headway or they're winning some things, in the end, God will do what is right. He has prepared his throne for judgment, and he will maintain control forever. So verse number 8, "And he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people of uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. And then the rest of the chapter, David is talking about how God has come to his rescue in time of facing enemies, what God has done to the enemies, what he believes God is doing and will do. And so you've got all of these amazing attributes of God that when things look bleak, when things are tough, we live by faith. And faith produces a confidence, it produces a security, it produces praise in my lips, thanksgiving in my heart, and a confidence in my walk, and a fulfillment in my purpose, because I know, it's not that I think, I know God is in control. I know he is doing right and judging right. I know that nobody is getting away with anything. But my God who is patient with me is patient with them. My God who is long suffering with me is long suffering with them. And God is not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. He desires that we would decide to come back and be right with God on our own without him needing to extrinsically motivate us to that. He wants us to be intrinsically motivated to be right with him and maintain being right with him because we love him and we're so filled with gratitude and faith in him that we just want to live by faith. And so as you go through today, just remember, faith produces some very specific things, and we can evaluate, am I someone who falls prey to doubting God and living in fear and questioning and even begrudging the wicked who seem like they're winning? Or do I believe that God is on his righteous throne, making right decisions every minute of every day, having everything under control and working everything to the counsel of his own will? And I am privileged to participate. What a great God. I hope that your faith has increased, and not just for today, but every day. God bless you. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you again next week.